everyone! Today I am going to do a book talk on 7 Ways We Lie by Riley Redgate. This is the first book I read for the DiverseAthon, and I really felt like it holds true in that diversity element. The main reason why I was drawn to this story is because it has a main character that is pansexual. There is also an asexual in it and a half Mexican main character. There is 7 main characters in this story, and it jumps from each person's point of view for each different chapter. Now, each of these 7 characters hosts their own 7 deadly sin, and you get to be exposed to each personality and each person as they work through these sins, and also uncover the mystery of Paloma High School in Kansas, where one of the students is having an affair or romantic relationship with a teacher. Now, I absolutely adored this book. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars, and the only reason why it didn't reach that 5-star mark was because with it being 7 main characters, it took you quite a while to get used to each main character, and so the progression of the story was a little slow during the first third of the book because it needed the character introductions. Now, as soon as you know each main character and how they interact with everybody else in the school, the story really kicks off, and you learn how even though people perceive somebody as perfect, they absolutely are not perfect. They have their own issues, and they have their own struggles that they're fighting to resolve every single day. It hits a lot of big, diverse topics, and also controversial topics, especially with the student-teacher relationship. It really makes you see on the side of both the student and the teacher, the administration, and the parents of the student itself. That really makes you think about like typical laws in your community when it comes to such relationships and what it means to be either the teacher or the student in those relationships and how it affects them. Also, it really brings up outing people when they are a different sexuality, and it was really like a breath of fresh air seeing that representation of pansexuality and asexuality, because these are both sexualities that people don't really know a lot about, they don't really talk about, and so it was a really great introduction to those types of sexualities. And me, myself, being pansexual, I felt like it was a really great, it was a struggle because the character actually is not out in the story until further on, and he has his own reasons for staying in the closet, so to speak. Because with it being Kansas, it's much more conservative, and he doesn't want to lose any of his popularity or anything that he really gained socially from being in that environment. And also with the asexual person, it was really interesting to be in that mindset and see kind of what it means to be asexual and just how it kind of affects lives and relationships, especially when you actually get noticed by other people who want to be in a relationship with you and they don't quite understand exactly what it means to be asexual. I also don't want to give away which characters in the story are which sin, but I will say that because you'll find out right off the bat that one of the main characters is Lust, and that is a woman. So she is the Lust character. She sleeps around quite frequently, and the way she handles that and handles men advancing on her even though she is not interested in them, and tells them she is not interested and they say that she is a whore. She gets a lot of slut shaming, and that is something that I really enjoyed about the story, is that it really brings to light what happens when you are a sexual woman, especially in high school, because it is always said that it's okay for a man to be a sexual character, but a woman cannot be a sexual being. And having this story really discuss that, I thought it was really pivotal, and I absolutely adored that aspect of the story as well. But I won't really go into the other characters because I really want to kind of open up a discussion down below on what you think about the characters and how you feel about their sin. So I really felt like this was a really amazing book for the DiverseAthon, and I highly recommend it to anybody who especially has like questions or has never had that kind of introduction into those different types of sexualities. And I really have to emphasize that these are the own characters' experiences, so there can be different from others, and also that they are teenagers, they're high schoolers, a lot of them are pretty dumb, they make stupid decisions, stupid choices, so it really kind of holds up on this high school type lifestyle and what it means to have all these responsibilities when you're a junior and you're trying to prepare yourself for college applications, in what you need to kind of be the best of the best to get into the schools that you want, and just all of that pressure that really gets put on high school kids, and how they really handle all the stress and what they do to kind of overcome the stress. So it was very interesting, and I really loved like playing the guessing game with each deadly sin and kind of assigning them. I do have to say that I feel like the character who displayed pride, I didn't feel like it really fit. I mean, pride is a really hard thing to kind of place on somebody, because even though they are prideful of themselves, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're over prideful, because this character also had their own issues. But it was definitely very, very challenging and enjoyable and fun and interactive to try to see which character placed into which sin, especially when you actually didn't like know right off the bat which one they went into. And I felt like this was a very challenging and definitely informative read, where you really place yourself in the mindset of each person in each scenario and each lifestyle. I think one of my favorite parts about this book is learning the backstories of each character and how it has affected their lives to being the person they are today. So I definitely still want to say that I highly enjoyed this book. It was fantastic, and I really want to know if you guys have read this book. Let me know down below, because I really want to see what you thought of the characters and the sins that they were assigned to be, and if you struggled actually assigning pride like I did, and everything like that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!